Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakahak Wadash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule and teach well. In peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure unto the end. This is the brother Ra'aya coming at you with another lesson, and I'll be reading from an article on RT.com titled New Alliance Forming, ? Here's why everyone's talking about the Russia-Iran deal. Moscow and Tehran have been working towards a new deal for years, but what matters more is the impact it will have on the future global order. And we know that according to biblical prophecy, it's going to have a major impact on the global order because Russia and Iran are going to be top allies during World War III, which is going to, culminate into the battle in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, the War of Armageddon, over in the so-called Middle East, really Western Asia. This is Ezekiel chapter 38. I'm going to start at verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the biblical name for Russia, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth. And those hooks in thy jaws, turning Gog back, is the Most High putting Russia in that old, confrontational Soviet Union spirit, which we can see, over the last, couple of years and decade. Russia has been building back up its preeminence on the global stage, economically, militarily, and politically. And I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, Russia's military might being gathered down, further in to Western Asia. Verse 5, Persia, which is the ancient name for Iran, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, and all of these nations, in some form or fashion, have ties with Russia, especially through the BRICS. All of them with shield and helmet. Gomer, which is speaking of Turkey, which will come back to Gomer later, and all his bands. The house of Togarmah of the North Quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. And Togarmah is speaking of, it says probably the area known as Armenia. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So it's talking about Russia and her allies, and Russia being a guard unto these smaller nations, which, as we're about to go into in this article, we're seeing Gog and Persia getting closer and closer to each other. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian's visit to Moscow was a historic event that opened up a new chapter in the bilateral relations between Russia and Iran that have existed for 400 years. A key moment of the visit was the signing of the Strategic Partnership Agreement, which not only reinforces the long-standing collaboration between the two nations, but also signifies a shift toward deeper and more comprehensive cooperation on the global scale. This agreement symbolizes Tehran and Moscow's commitment to jointly addressing global challenges, confirming their determination to boost cooperation in the political, economic, and cultural fields, but ultimately in the military field. What's in the agreement? The full text of the Comprehensive Strategic Partnership Agreement consisting of 47 provisions, has been published on the official Kremlin website. Key provisions outline the parties' commitment to fostering trade and economic cooperation in all areas of mutual interest, and also state that the countries will actively cooperate in conducting joint military exercises. And that's, ultimately the end-all, be-all. The agreement states that the parties will refrain from providing military or other assistance to an aggressor in the case of an attack on either nation. Back in Ezekiel 38, be thou prepared and prepare thyself, and be thou a guard unto them. If a nation comes against you, I'm not going to help them, but back you up, and vice versa. Additionally, Iran and Russia agreed to take measures to prevent the use of their territories for supporting separatist movements that threaten territorial integrity. Moscow and Tehran aim to work closely together in combating international terrorism and other threats, while opposing unilateral coercive measures that they view as violations of international law. I'm going to jump around a bit. One of the key goals of the agreement is to increase the trade volume between the two nations, which makes perfect sense given the mutual interests and potential of both countries. For reference, trade between Russia and Iran amounted to a mere $4.5 billion in 2024. In 2021, it was just $1.5 billion, which means that trade has increased threefold in the past 3 years, but this is still insufficient. In contrast, trade with Turkey has surged in recent years, exceeding $60 billion. This agreement will create favorable conditions for deeper mutual understanding between the two countries. So like I said, we're going to come back to Turkey or Gomer later so we can see that, Turkey is in the midst as well. And Turkey has always been in the midst. And there's going to come a point during World War III or, beforehand where Turkey, who's a member of NATO, is going to completely abandon the West for the East, for Russia, Gog. Lucky. I'm just looking for main points to hit up. The agreement has caused concern in the West. The signing of the Strategic Partnership Agreement between Russia and Iran is the logical result of the long cooperation between the two countries. On the Iranian side, one of the key people behind the agreement was the late Iranian president Ibrahim Raisi, who played a key role in formulating the idea of strategic partnership. 3 years ago in January 2022, during a visit to Moscow, Raisi emphasized the importance of a long-term agreement that would benefit both countries. In the course of the negotiations, he stressed that a strategic partnership with Russia was not just desirable, but essential for Iran amid increasing pressure from the West. When they speak of the West, you know exactly who they're talking about. America and the state of Israel. Again, Gog being a guard under Persia. There's one more little point I was looking for. If I can't, oh, here it is. Here's the last little paragraph I'm going to read. Iran is also interested in strengthening ties with neighboring countries, improving relations with Turkey. Gomer, Saudi Arabia, and the Gulf states is becoming a vital part of its new strategy. By lowering regional tensions, Iran aims to regain its influence, positioning itself as a stable and robust player in the Middle East. Tehran also seeks to act not only as a military force, but also as an economic and diplomatic hub capable of addressing regional issues through cooperation. What's ultimately going to happen is the battle in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. But as we can see, all the major players are fulfilling their roles in biblical prophecy. And with Trump back as the president of the United States of America, I heard that there were already talks between the U.S. and Israel in striking Iranian nuclear facilities, which, that's only going to escalate that situation. And eventually, like they got that saying, you either shit or you get off the pot. Hey, a lot of shit's about to come down the pipeline. This is Revelation chapter 9, verse 12. One woe or destruction is past, referring to World War I, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter. World War II, which is past, and World War III, which is quickly coming upon us. And, like I say throughout my videos, hey, for all intents and purposes, you can say we're already in the beginning of World War III. But where it's going to end is in Western Asia, Middle East. This is Joel chapter 3. I'm going to start at verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, the heathen Gentiles. Prepare war. World War III, war with Iran. Battle in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. And since that situation that happened on October 7th, back in the 2024, goes to show you how fast, I think, was it October? Back in October of 2023, which, just goes to show you how fast times fly. That's just done what? Gather these different nations as militaries deeper into the Middle East. And then, of course, you had the collapse of Bashar al-Assad's government in Syria, which is leading to a power vacuum, further gathering those nations down there. Beat your plowshares into sword and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Everybody getting on that war footing. And of course, we've been seeing Iran say how strong they are because, for decades, Iran wouldn't think about striking Israel directly, but we've already seen them do, their first ever missile strikes on, the state of Israel. And it's only going to intensify. Verse 11, on both ends, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, the United States of America, state of Israel, Gog or Russia, Iran or Persia, Gomer or Turkey, Saudi Arabia, the NATO nations, China, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh, and the mighty ones are the death angels of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, holding back this great destruction, waiting to get the go-ahead to release it, which is, mainly going to happen after the MARKOFTHEBEAST, which is the RFID/NFC micro C-hip implant in Revelation 13, verses 16 to 18 is mandatorily implemented. And lo and behold, who is in Donald Trump's administration? Elon Musk, who is heavily invested in Neuralink, which is going to play into the mark in the forehead. Verse 12, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shaphat, or Yahweh's judgment. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about, for afflicting the apple of the Most High's eye, the true children of Israel, who are known as the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans today. And at the head of that list are you heathens, as pursuant to Psalms 83, are you Edomites, or so-called white people. And it also mentions you Amalekite Edomites, who are the small hats, the 48ers, posing as the people of the book over in the Holy Land. Verse 13, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. And when we read about articles dealing with Russia and Iran's deepening cooperation with each other and just the climate of things out here, we can see that the day of Yahweh is very near in the valley of decision. So that's it with this video. And with this video, I hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified. Just keep strong. We are almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babal, Kwam Yasharallah, and until next time, Shalom.